why did you decide to go to university? I know you kind of spoke a little bit about, that was always kind of a next step for you, but yeah, what were your reasons why for choosing to do that?
To be honest, to me it was just kind of a natural progression through education. Reflecting back, actually, I wish I knew what other options there were. I know this is about going to university, but I at the time didn't really know about the opportunities of apprenticeships. I didn't really know about going into the workplace and working. So for me, it was always, you go to school, you go to college, you go to university if you want to go into a career. So it was kind of probably from about the age of doing my GCSEs, that was kind of in my head. I'm going to go to college, I'm going to get my A levels, I'm going to go to university. Not necessarily know what I'm going to study, but that was the natural progression. And like I said, I don't think at the time, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when I was looking at what to do, I didn't even really consider apprenticeships or degree apprenticeships as an option. And I think definitely now it's more of an option and more students are thinking about them. So yeah, for me it's kind of, when I was in college, just in your tutor group, everyone would start writing their personal statements and your tutors would help you fill out your university applications. It was kind of a just natural thing. I just went along with the flow of it, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's such a good point you make about the other options that are available as well. I think there's a lot more advertising out there now for things like apprenticeships and degree apprenticeships. So it's really important to explore all of the options before, you then make a decision. And then, was there anything that you were worried about with university, or made you think, not sure if this is like the right thing for me?
At the time, it was the money thing, the tuition costs. Obviously, all colleges and schools give you as much information as they can about how you fund it, and I don't know, saving money and learning to budget and things like that. But it was still kind of that leaning over my head. Like I say, no one in my family had been to university. Not really from my parents had no way of sort of funding any of it for me, so I knew I'd have to get a job if I needed to sort of support myself. So that was always there in the back of my head. And to be honest with you, when I was applying for university, I wanted to move out. Probably my first choice universities were all south, so Southampton and Exeter. So I'd planned to move away from home. So then it was things like, how do I get myself there? Trains? Do I learn to drive or not? Because at that age, all my friends are starting to learn to drive. But in my head, I was like, well, if I'm going away to university, I don't really need to learn to drive. I'm not going to take a car with me. Yeah. There's lots of things that were going around in my head, to be honest. But yeah, I think for me, it was kind of, in my head, I knew that university was something I'd have to do if I wanted to get into a career in engineering. Like I say, because I hadn't thought of the apprenticeship route. So it was kind of a no-brainer that I was going to go. But obviously there were worries in the back of my head. And then the things like leaving my group of friends, everyone else was going off to different universities. But I say for me, I'm quite a social person, so meeting new people was also quite exciting. So it was kind of that. I don't want to leave everyone behind, but it'd be really cool to meet new people.
Yeah, it's taking that step, isn't it, that you are nervous, but actually once you step into university, like you said, it's such a sociable place and sociable experience that you start to make new friends. Why in particular did you pick aerospace engineering and not maybe just, for example, general engineering?
To be honest with you, again, I didn't necessarily pick aerospace engineering. So like I said, when I was applying for other universities, a lot of universities, when you apply for engineering, you apply for generic engineering. And after your second year, you then specialise into, say, automotive, aerospace, electrical, etc. So when I was applying, I was going through that UCAS application, I was just applying for generic mechanical engineering with an opportunity to possibly then, in a couple of years, think about what I might want to specialise in. Mainly because I had no idea. I kind of figured I wanted to do engineering. I knew the subjects I like, and I wanted to make it something practical, so engineering was absolutely perfect. And then, like I say, when I didn't get my A-level grades and I had to kind of rethink things a little bit, there weren't so many options. And like I say, when I kind of whittled it down to something close to home for the reasons I've already given, it was kind of, UE do their engineering, so you can start aerospace from level 1. You already specialise from the very start. So I was kind of weighing it up, and I spoke to some of the lecturers, and they sort of said, to be honest with you, the one you start on, if you really don't like it, you can swap between them. There's not a lot of differences between mechanical and aerospace in the first year. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a go. I don't know anything about it, not really been into planes. But yeah, so I kind of started that and went along with it. And to be honest, I absolutely love it. Kind of couldn't imagine studying anything else now. But it was kind of one of those moments. It was, should I do it? I don't know anything about it. It's not something I've looked into. Like I spent almost 2 years thinking about what university course to do. Haven't really even considered this. But yeah, just jumped in and from day one kind of just took everything in. It was a lot of new stuff. But yeah, absolutely loved it.